instructor, my name is Jessica Francesca C. Victorino, and today I will be talking about a leader that I admire and personally relate to for my life coaching summative assessments. Component 1, Leadership Character. I chose Princess Bubblegum from Adventure Time. There she is, Princess Bubblegum. Someone I personally relate to. She isn't a perfect leader. In fact, she is quite flawed. But what I admire from her is how she grows and becomes better in the end. At the start of the series, Princess Bubblegum, or PB, was somewhat of a dictator. She always needed to know what everyone in the Candy Kingdom was doing and often prevented them from doing things that could endanger them. Unfortunately, this meant she sometimes coddled her citizens so much that they became dependent on her and could not function independently unless she was there. Despite this, the Candy people still loved her because she led with grace and gentleness. Even when she didn't follow their opinions, at least she made sure that their voices were heard. Like me. When I was younger, of course. Eventually, she was democratically voted out of power by the very Candy people she created with her own hands. She was quite upset would be an understatement.
And the votes are in. King of Ooh is our new princess. Hey, hey!
What? You dillweeds! You're a dillweed, you're a dillweed secretary, and you're probably some dillweed I've never met! You're 3 dillweeds being dillweeds, and you're going to dillweed this place into the ground! And you!
However, after spending some time in solitude doing some soul searching and reconnecting with her ex-girlfriend,
Don't let me sleep too long. Promise to wake me up in 15 minutes.
I promise.
she eventually rose again to be a better leader. She learned how to humble herself, listen more sincerely to others, and respect the opinions of the people around her. In the end, she even led an army to defeat a cosmic horror. Truly, she has grown more than she ever could before. I relate strongly to her because I used to lead my group members in high school in a very similar way. My leadership style was very one-sided. I gave orders without considering my teammates' difficulties. I cared more about the final output than what my team members felt during the process. I would hover around them until they finished their work, while I did my own work separately. There was no real teamwork, just instructions and outputs. However, coming to Mapua changed my outlook. Instead of going on a journey of solitude and meeting up with my non-existent ex-girlfriend, I saw how people can actually lead without being a jerk. Some leaders were charismatic while still helping guide the group find the light. Seeing this made me reflect on how I lead and how different it was to now. This is why I relate to her so much. Like PB, I had a rocky start as a leader. I was often considered the smart kid, and she was a genius-level scientist. Not a very good comparison, but you know. So people assumed our opinions were always correct. But eventually, we both experienced moments that forced us to rethink our approach. In a way, we both fell into a metaphorical ditch and came out of it as better leaders than ever before. Component 2, Personal Leadership Philosophy. My leadership philosophy today focuses on helping people contribute based on what they are genuinely good at, while also allowing them to grow beyond their comfort zones. Whenever I become the leader of a group, the first thing I do is always ask what they are proficient at. After that, I assign tasks based on each person's strengths. However, if someone wants to try something new or wants to expand their skills, I allow them to do so. I believe that leadership is not only about efficiency or outputs, but also about helping people grow. This approach is very different from how I used to be. When I was younger, I was always either too controlling or too hands-off. Now, I try to find a balance. I try to be more empathetic, listen to my teammates, and consider their perspectives before making decisions. One example of this happened during a group project. There was a teammate who was usually assigned the role of a researcher and slide deck maker. One day, they shyly asked if they could try being the presenter because they wanted to improve their public speaking skills. In the past, I might have dismissed that request or gotten angry that they only asked now. But instead, I gave up my role as a presenter and took over making the slide decks instead. The result was amazing. They completely shined during the presentation. They delivered it confidently and did an excellent job explaining. Seeing them succeed reinforced my belief that good leadership involves trusting people and giving them opportunities to grow. Component 3: Evaluation of Leadership Skills. One of my current strengths as a leader is my ability to recognize the strengths of my teammates and assign tasks that match their skills. I also try to create an environment where people feel comfortable in sharing ideas and taking on new challenges. However, I still need to improve my patience and my ability to balance guidance with independence. Sometimes I feel the urge to step in too quickly when things are not going as expected or the right direction I wanted. So I am learning to trust my teammates more and allow them to solve problems on their own. My leadership journey is a lot like Princess Bubblegum's. We both began by depending too much on our own intelligence and judgment. We both discovered over time that being a leader involves more than just coming up with the greatest ideas. It also involves actively cooperating with others and listening to their opinions. I chose the ebook Collaborative Intelligence by Jim Kalbach and Mariano Batan to help bolster my leadership philosophy. The main goals of this book was about improving teamwork and designing collaboration in a way that allows everyone to contribute meaningfully. Its ideas support my belief that good leadership involves creating an environment where people's strengths are recognized and where collaboration helps teams succeed together. Component 4: Plan to enhance my leadership skills. Another short-term goal is improving my patience and emotional awareness. I want to focus more on my teammates' feelings throughout the process rather than just the end result. Instead of taking over right away if someone's having trouble with a task, I will try to guide and support them. Additionally, I want to get better at encouraging teamwork. Motivated by the concepts presented in Collaborative Intelligence, I plan to organize discussion groups where everyone can contribute ideas before tasks are assigned. This will help make sure that every member feels involved and valued. For long-term growth, I want to develop stronger leadership confidence and the ability to guide larger teams. I plan to do this by volunteering for leadership roles in group projects, participating more actively in class discussions, and learning from leaders around me who demonstrates effective teamwork. After all, the largest group I've ever led was 5 max. I will also continue reading leadership books and studying different leadership strategies so that I can improve my ability to collaborate with diverse groups of people. Ultimately, my goal is to become the type of leader who helps people grow, supports teamwork, and creates an environment where everyone can succeed together. After each group project, I will try to measure my progress. I'll ask myself questions like, did everyone get a chance to contribute? Did I pay close attention to what my teammates were saying? Did the group feel comfortable sharing ideas? If the answer to these questions improves over time, I will know that my leadership abilities are growing and always improving. My ultimate objective is to develop into the kind of leader who fosters teamwork, encourages personal development, and establishes an atmosphere in which everyone can achieve success together. Just like Princess Bubblegum's development as a leader, I believe leadership is not about being perfect, but about learning from mistakes and continuing to improve. In the end, being flawless or always knowing the answer is ultimately not what leadership is about. It's about developing, learning, and improving via experience. I started with a leadership style that relied too heavily on my own ideas, much like Princess Bubblegum. But through reflection, observation, and experience, I have begun to understand that real leadership is about trust, empathy, and collaboration. Going forward, I want to keep getting better, support others in realizing their potential, and build teams where everyone can succeed together, and not just the leader. Thank you so much for listening to my TED Talk, and goodbye.